Welcome back, everybody. This is the LNC podcast. If you're here, you are queer, so congrats. I would please just once again implore you to subscribe. I need it. I need the subscriptions. Lorenzo isn't here because you haven't subscribed yet, and that's your fault. So please get on it. Get on it. What does it take you? It's just a click, a slight finger movement. I know it's a lot. It takes a lot of energy to do, but please do that. Like the video, comment if you've enjoyed it, or if you haven't, keep it to yourself, please. I think that it's a net benefit. Anything in the comment section at this point. In fact, you just lambast me, roast me. Think of it as a roast session in the comments. Say whatever you want. I don't give a flip. I try not to cuss in the first couple minutes because I think it doesn't suggest the video to anybody if I screw it up. But I need it, please. Anything. Apple, Spotify, what else? I think that's everything. Come to, see me on Saturday after Thanksgiving. I'll be at City State Public House playing jazz, and you can roast me in person. So if you have something in the comments that I missed, that I didn't give a heart, please come say it to my face on Saturday. I have a guest here who I'm so excited to bring on the program. It's been so long since we've seen each other. I feel like we just saw each other at an open mic contest hybrid thingy, and she's always like a superstar. She's always like the funniest person in the room. She is amazing. I'm so happy that she's doing my podcast. Pleased to present Erin Coyne on the LNC podcast. How you doing, girl?
Doing right. Thanks for having me. Hot guys, subscribe.
There we go. Hot guys only. Yeah.
Hot guys, subscribe. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It was man. That was. I don't know if I'm the funniest person in the room. Heather Joyce was in that room, so she
was, and she did win that contest. But
she did.
I mean, every time I show up and I see you, I'm like, okay, she's gonna bring the heat. She's ready to go. There's not a lot of people who are prepared and will crush on a constant basis, and you always do.
Oh man, well, because I can't take compliments, I always have to downplay it. Like, I just always happen to do well when you're in the room.
Oh, good.
You should see me when you're not in the room. It's real bad.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that's just being a stand-up comedian, though, at our level, at like the very beginner level, entry level. It's just you're gonna fall flat on your face more often than not. You're testing the waters. Am I right? Like every audience is a little different, no matter where you are. And I think we're at the point now where we're traveling to for the occasional showcase on a weekend, and anything goes. I mean, it's a complete coin toss with me.
Oh yeah. That's pretty much where I'm at too. Like I feel like I'm still trying to, I don't know. I feel like some of the more established comedians, like on a big professional level and like in our community, but at a higher level, like they have like their niche figured out. Now I've got Heather Joyce in my head because she's like, it's niche, not niche. They got their niche figured out. And they have like almost like a character they adopt that like works really well for them on stage. And I'm still trying to figure that out for myself, because like some days I'm like moody, broody, depressed comedian, and other days I'm like, oh my god, fuck yeah, let's go, let's fucking rock. Oh, so I'm swearing so much in the beginning. I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to like scare you away from say whatever you want. I mean,
gotcha.
Again, in the comments to my face, whatever. I really don't. Nobody's watching this to begin with, so you're safe knowing that this has no impact on anybody's life whatsoever. I know what you mean though, because when I started out, I tried doing this kind of character that's me leaning into pessimism and being very dry and very critical, self-critical, self-deprecating, just being like a downer the whole time. And I realized that it wasn't hitting a lot of the time because people thought I wasn't excited to be there, and people thought, you know, that they were in danger. You know, they thought that I was just mad at them and the world and everybody, and that's not always that's not conducive for laughter and for making people feel comfortable. So I try to smile in between being angry now, and in between being an asshole. I try to show some teeth, and then people go, okay, he's clearly joking. It's not completely serious. But it's like that, you know, you're feeling out.
Yeah.
How can I augment this stage persona? How can I create the optimal presentation so that people know they can enjoy this, and they're not teetering on the edge of should I leave? Is he gonna freak the fuck
Just
out?
where's the exit? Where's the emergency exit? How many bodies can I hide behind if I need to? Figuring that out, and but still being true to yourself, I feel is really difficult too, because you don't want to go a complete, you know, there's some professionals out there who are 100% different as a person than they are on stage. And I don't really want to be that, you know, I want to be able to be my true self, but a polished, more marketable version of myself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in my private life, oh my, I don't know I had some hot chocolate earlier, and it's fucking my whole podcast voice
Dude,
up.
I burned my mouth with a fucking mushroom earlier, a fucking hot mushroom. The hot mushroom juices, they leaked out and they went down my shirt. And I swear to God, they were so hot, they melted the synthetic fibers on my shirt. I was wearing a different shirt earlier. This is my backup shirt.
Mushroom juices, scalding mushrooms.
Dude,
be on the lookout.
Watch out for the mushroom juices, man, especially when they get in your eyes.
I wish my hot chocolate was as hot as that mushroom, though, because it was disappointing. I had to put milk in the microwave because I'm struggling, and that it wasn't enough, and I just burned I burned my hand on the outside of the cup I took out of the microwave, and then spilled the milk everywhere. I had half a cup of hot chocolate. It was bad. I'm not doing well.
That's really bad. But, I'm so sorry.
We're gonna rally. I was saying that I think I totally get what you're saying. I'm not a completely fake person when I'm on stage. I'm trying to be the person that I would want to see perform. It's kind of what I mean when I say stage persona, or when I say character. I know what you mean, though. The people who, I don't think Anthony Jeselnik is really that much of a sour sport all the time. I think he goes home and he probably smiles and, you know, kicks back and puts his feet up or whatever, and does what he enjoys, but then he gets on stage and everything's a problem. I just mean, yeah, it's tough because the things I find funny are the things that frustrate me a lot of the time. So it's tough to talk about stuff that makes you angry and then expect people to laugh at it if you're just angry the whole time. with no cracking.
Every time I've tried to do that, I'm I just went on a 4-minute vent. Okay, that wasn't quite comedy, but how do we make that funny?
Right. And it's figuring it out with every performance. It's just, and like you were saying, you wake up on any given day, you could be my back is killing me right now, but I'm here. I've had those shows where I literally did a show outside where, as I got up to go, first of all, my back was killing me. I had a huge flare up because I lifted a box wrong or something, and then right when I go, the weather held the whole time, and it just started raining during my set, you know, the sprinkling. And so I'm thinking, not only is my back killing me and I can barely move and gesticulate, I'm also about to just get drenched too. But I feel like I started smiling more. I started getting even more animated because I'm I have to convince myself that I'm going to get through this and that we're still having fun as a group.
Yeah. Fake it till you make it.
Definitely.
That's something that rings in my head a lot.
You're not faking anything, Erin. You're great because you do improv, right?
See, that's how well I'm faking it. You can't even tell.
But you have a
See, it
background
works.
in performing, don't you? Uh-oh. Animals, are they all right? Does that not
That's
happen
my
normally?
fiance.
Oh wow. That sounded like a dog. That sounded like a small dog.
It's very rare that we're both like on some kind of conference call, or we're actually both on Discord right now.
Oh nice.
Not together, but it's very rare we're both doing something like this at the same time.
Uh-huh.
So he yells a lot when he plays video games. It makes loud
I do too.
noises, but it's not like
My
angry
boyfriend's
yelling.
right next to me. He's right off screen playing. What are you playing? City Skylines 2. Whatever, it would put me to sleep. He's looking at a traffic pattern right now from a
That's my kind of video
from a
game.
bird's eye view. So I'm like that's. But I have no room to talk. I was playing Bloons Tower Defense 6 last night for
Hell
at
yeah.
least 3 hours. So I can't talk.
Nice.
Anyway,
I
know
that.
how it is, and I'm always the one yelling because I'm the one who's playing shooters and in the party, and I need to be revived, and it's life or death.
Yeah, that's me too.
Yeah, you have a you have a public speaking performance background, don't you? Or you've been doing it for a while?
Yeah, so I actually blah 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 brain. Long before I got into stand-up comedy, I did a lot of improv. I discovered what improv was in high school, and I'm like, holy crap, this is the greatest thing ever. I want to do this for the rest of my life. This is so much fun. This is what I want to do all the time, always. Then I went to college and did a little more improv, and then like I became like an adult and life happened and there was no room for jokes or improv or anything like that. But I stumbled back into it and it was amazing. I'm like, holy crap, like I was, being an adult's a bummer. Like improv is making me like so much happier, and it's literally like therapeutic for me. Like being able to do improv scenes with folks is just so much fun. And then improv got a little tough, like especially over COVID. And I'm like, what's something I can do in the comedy sphere that I don't have to plan with anyone else, I don't, like I don't have to get a group together for rehearsal or shows or anything like that. And Diane Ross was actually in my improv group.
Oh, nice.
So she joined us for a little bit. She's fantastic. I love Diane so much. We dog sit for her sometimes, and it's always a lot of fun. We just hang out in their house for a while. So Diane, she sent me this like wonderful email, like this heartfelt, super nice email that's like, you are so talented. You have so much potential. Like, I really want to see you do stand up. I just think you'd be so good at it. And she like made a list of all these mics in the area and the descriptions of them. And she sent that to me, and I didn't do anything with it for a full year.
Yeah.
Didn't do a thing because I'm like, I can't do that. I don't know. I'm gonna fail. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be weird.
You're in your own head. You're your own worst enemy.
I know.
I'm glad you. So you overcame that a year later. And what did you sign up for first? Which mic? Do you remember?
So the first thing, I didn't sign up for anything at first. I just went out to the Electric Palm on a Tuesday. And I just like sat in the back and just like watched everyone. And by the end of it, I'm like, okay, some people were incredible and I hope to be like them one day. And some people have room to grow.
I can do this.
I can do this.
I've seen I got what it takes. I know what's going on now. It's reassuring.
And after that, and like after that, I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I signed up for the Palm. Don't remember what my first set was there, but I do remember the early days of when I started going there, and I just immediately felt so included by everyone, like everyone in that community. That's where we met too.
Yes.
Further proof that everyone I've met there has been wonderful. And after that, like when I found out what riff mic was, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I am all over this. Like this is amazing. This is like my stand-up comedy improv dreams mashed together. It's like one big improv game. I love it.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
That's a unique one because I haven't found anything like that in the area. I'm sure where there's a more heavily saturated comedy thing happening, there are more kind of experimental open mics and entry level opportunities like that. But it's just, I mean, everything I've seen is just straight up sign up, do your 3 to 5 minutes of written material, and then get the fuck out of here or hang out or, you know, be a degenerate comic somewhere. Watch, don't watch, talk during everyone else's set, do whatever you want, kind of
swipe
thing.
right on your, you know,
exactly.
Look for your next hot date.
You're dating while you're, you know, in a professional work environment.
God, I'm looking for more material.
We're going to talk about hacky shit in just a minute. I want to get through your biography first because I want people to know about you. The two people that watch this, they need to find you and
hi two people.
I think so. You did that. The Electric Palm. That was my first one. Was the Electric Palm, and I didn't even. Well, that's a lie. I did watch stand up, and that's why I got into it. I watched. I went and saw my first live comedian. I saw Brian Simpson at the DC Improv just because I had seen him doing podcasts, and then once I started looking up stand-up shows near me, he came up, and I think he's from DC too. So I was just like, okay, I've seen him on a podcast. Let me go check it out. And it was a fun time. It was cool. He was kind of hanging out in the lobby the whole time since he knew everybody who was going to see the show. And it just felt, I mean, even from that first experience, seeing like a professional do it on stage, I was like, oh, this feels like really chill and like homey. You know, it doesn't feel like a theater. Like I'm sure if I saw stand up in a theater first, I would have felt differently about it. But I was like, oh, I like this club thing that's happening. And then I saw, because I was gonna go see Christina Pajitsky. I used to be a big Your Mom's House fan with Tom Segura and Christina P. And so back when I was really into that, I got a ticket to see her, and she canceled the show and then had a make good way later. But in the meantime, I went and saw Jessica Curson instead. When I saw her, she offered a class the same day, a few hours before the show, and I went to the class, and that was it. I was like, okay, I'm going to do open mics after this and get into it. And then I signed up for the Electric Palm and got up and ran the light and nearly shit my pants, and then the rest is history. I was like, what light? Fuck. I don't know how this works.
Why is this lady flashing me?
I know. It's like, she taking a picture? What's happening?
There was, that reminds me, there is like, I've always had an interest in comedy in like one way or another, but there's one set that like I was obsessed with like since I was in high school, and it's because it was one of the only like completely full-length free stand-up sets I could find on YouTube at the time, and that was Donald Glover's stand-up Weirdo.
Oh yeah.
His special. And I would watch that on repeat so much, like I would fall asleep to it, and like that I could like at one point I could like do the entire set like
That's
for
awesome.
you. And it's something I still quote today sometimes. I'm like, dicks. It just makes me laugh. But like that was, I think I like go back to that set sometimes, like when I think about like what got me started in stand up, and like just the combination of it. Like the jokes were funny, the stories were funny. Like Donald Glover's a very like storyteller type comedian, but he was still very animated and performative at the same time.
Yeah. Very.
Yeah.
I never
I'm
knew him
like,
as a
damn,
stand-up.
I want to do that.
I've listened to Childish Gambino, and
Yeah.
I've seen him on what Community and what's the other show, Atlanta. But
Oh yeah.
I've never seen his stand-up. I'll have to check it out for sure.
I would recommend it. I'm probably biased, but I would recommend it.
Definitely. I saw he had a stroke recently, or he admitted to having a stroke recently, which I thought was crazy because he's like a super young guy, right? I mean,
yeah, I was gonna say he's not that old in the grand scheme of things, but I'm also very bad at keeping up with pop culture. So
yeah, let's see, New York Times. It's gonna give me a pop-up that says subscribe. But the actor and musician Donald Glover said on stage during a concert on Saturday in Los Angeles that he had suffered a stroke and other health challenges last year that led him to abandon his world tour. So I guess he was on an international tour and had to cancel it and didn't explain why. And he just admitted. So I mean, I hope he seems fine now. I mean, he seems totally recovered.
Yeah.
Just was like,
how old is he? Can we look that up?
Yeah, definitely. Because it just seemed like one of those, you know, I'm at work and there's all this clickbait. You try to work on a laptop and immediately when you go to the web browser, it's a billion clickbait articles. Let me not include stroke. That'll give us his age. Let's see here. Where Wikipedia, anything. Normally that's like the first thing that comes up.
I think it's 42. Oh, there it is.
Well, so I mean, he's still young.
Yeah, that's very young. But for a stroke too, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's all that stand-up. It's all that. I mean, world tour.
Standing. He's got to sit down sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Improv.
I love the people always ask, is Donald Glover still a Jehovah's Witness? Is he a Nepo baby? That's awesome that people need to know if he's a Nepo baby or not.
Yeah, people like celebrities more. People like celebrities more when they came from nothing, you know? It's like, that can be me one day, man. Oh, I can make it big. My racist jokes kill at Thanksgiving.
I killed it. This open mic. I can see the pipeline. I see the radical alt-right stand-up Tony pipeline in the distance. I know how to do it.
Oh no! Oh no! What a scary pipeline it is.
We started talking about the alt-right, and you just started glowing for a second. You turned into the Holy Ghost. I thought your white lady powers were activated or said some kind of sleeper word.
It's like a defense mechanism. Like when I'm surrounded by white supremacists, I just start glowing to appear more white, so they don't smell the mixed race on me.
Right. I turn into a tomato, and you just become pale. That's awesome.
I just become whiter and be like, oh, look how white she is. She's the whitest one of them all.
Oh man. So
I'm like,
I was gonna say
thanks,
something.
Cletus.
Thanks, Cletus. Yes.
Thanks, Cletus.
I totally forgot. I was gonna bring something up, but I totally forgot. I was saying I used to listen to Your Mom's House. I got into stand-up from podcasting, and I started podcasting during the pandemic. So while you were trying stand-up and kind of winding down from improv or exploring your options, I was starting this with Lorenzo, and I was a big podcast listener, and I feel like it's all ruined now. Everything sucks. It's either Joe Rogan or it isn't, as far as beliefs go. And all the cringy hack edgy statements. It's just like, it all sucks. Yeah. It's all terrible. And now I feel like I only listen to improv podcasts, or I only listen to the news or
improv. Yeah, it's crazy kind of meeting those people in real life, because like they're like, when you pop on like Instagram and stuff and you're in the reels on TikTok and all that, and like you see the comments from that are less than kind, you know. And then you meet those people in real life and you see them on stage and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the real you. You're
Yeah.
just an asshole. Like you're these aren't jokes, they're insults. And even when you're making fun of yourself, you're still figuring out how to make fun of an entire group of people. Like that's actually impressive. That's kind of impressive now that I say that out loud.
They're taking nuance, and I mean, what are they stepping on it? They're rolling around it. They're shitting down its neck. Everything is completely on the nose. You're a total racist, or you're a total sexist, misogynist, whatever it is. You know, flip a coin, and you're all in on that one thing. And I don't know how we got here. I don't know. Did we make Republicans and rednecks or whoever? Did we make them feel that sad during Obama or during Biden? Make them feel that dejected, where they're just like, okay, when we're in, I'm doubling down on my black niece. I can't stand that bitch. Or my my daughter-in-law or whoever it is. It's like, we saw at the so we did the open mic contest a week ago, and I mean, we saw one guy who's a young person who his idea of jokes were just just insane statements, or just inflammatory statements. And it's like, it
was like watching the trolls you see online, like in person. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, that's what you look like. Okay. And I feel like people who go up and like tell those types of jokes, I feel like they just haven't been punched in the face before.
Yeah.
And they really got to experience that. Like there's been no consequences. Like they've just been like saying this stuff their entire lives, and they've always been around people who agree with them in that regard. So it's always been funny, and that's how they find their way to comedy, because they're like, oh yeah, like these jokes always hit in this environment. And then you present them in front of an incredibly diverse group of people that is the audience, and they're like, well, you guys are the problem. You guys are the problem. Like I heard that person like talking outside the show to his buds, and he's like, yeah, like I didn't get a fair shot. Like everyone was talking over me and blah, 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 blah. And like, to be fair, the room was loud. Mm-hmm. Like, but part of comedy, part of that art is like your stage presence and how you control the room if it is being like loud and unruly. Mm-hmm. That's not to say I'm very good at it. Like I know that like I have a lot of room for improvement there, but I know that I have to try when it's happening. Mm-hmm. Like you can't just be like,
right.
That was my impression.
That was great. It didn't pick up like you were just mouthing basically, but it was great. I'll put in some like sound effects.
Do some cheap. Yeah.
People like that, they'll take away the wrong lessons. They'll take you hear the term echo chamber get thrown around a lot, but that's pretty much what it is when you're a young guy like that. You have your friend group, you're on Discord, you're making edgy like racist jokes or sexist jokes to each other, and they just escalate because that's what you guys joke about in a vacuum all night long, however many nights a week, and you have to keep raising the bar to make each other laugh. And you get out there and you're like, this is the funniest shit ever. We were rolling. I have the clip. It's awesome. The clip's doing numbers on TikTok or whatever. And then you go up, like you said, you get the litmus test in real time in front of a live audience, and they're like, whoa, where did this guy come from? Who's this loser ranting about pussy and why he's not getting any? Why is this happening? I'm just trying to eat barbecue, essentially, and
I'm just trying to enjoy my ribs. Yes. And this young man's talking about pussy.
My brisket uncomfortable over here.
No, not the brisket.
Don't bring the brisket into this.
Oh, yeah, the brisket didn't do anything wrong.
And then it's just like you said, they walk away thinking, I didn't get a fair shake, or it's me
It was
against the
someone
world.
else. Yeah, it was someone else's fault. It was someone else's problem.
And I'm going to double down, triple down until this works. I think that's a recipe for failure, and a good one, because eventually, right, if you're a sane person, you're going to course correct if it bombs enough times. So those first few times you can be all high and mighty and continue to double down, or think that tonight just wasn't your night, or that the people around you are just rude and disrespectful. But you'll come to a point where you're like, oh, I've done this 8 times now and it hasn't worked once.
I say the definition of insanity.
Yeah, right, exactly. Only 5
doing the
people
same thing over and over. Yeah.
And exactly.
Yeah.
And so he'll develop. People like that will develop, or they'll just give up on it, or find some. Hopefully, they won't discover Reddit. I hope not, because then they'll just be stuck forever. Yeah.
Like I do genuinely hope for people like that, though. Like, I do hope that they take from that experience, and it doesn't have to be like tomorrow or even like a month or a year from now, but like eventually they'll have that growth. Because even if, he gets his like hee ha-has like in his group chats and all that, he still got up on stage.
Yeah.
He still did it, and that takes like some kind of, some form of balls, some form of backbone. And like I do want to see like that growth in those people. It reminds me of thinking about that, and like thinking about that night, and just like how he performed his jokes and like how he walked away. It got me thinking of when Joe Rogan's special came out on Netflix.
Yeah.
And like I shared this meme on Facebook that was like, all right, prepare the open mics for all the 40, 50 somethings who are about to come with all the racist jokes. And my friend's brother commented, and I had to be really careful about how I interacted with him, because I think he's a very smart guy. He's very intelligent and well-spoken, and he has good intentions, but we also don't see eye to eye on the same things. So I'm like, look, he's like, well, this doesn't seem very like welcoming of you as a comedian, And again, I'm like, I saw it, and I'm like, I'm gonna respond the right way, right?
Be diplomatic with my response.
So,
I'm not going to feed into this the way he wants me to.
Exactly. Yes. And so I'm like, hey, like everyone's welcome. Like I want everyone to come out to the open mics. But if you go out with the expectation that those like jokes that should probably stay at home are gonna do well here, and then you get all like get all in a hissy, like get all upset because no one's laughing, and then you just leave. Yeah, those are the people I'm referring to that are gonna be clogging up the mics. If you keep coming back after that, and you're improving and learning and taking feedback, and you are passionate about this, those are the real comedians.
Yeah. And
I did a sassy snap.
But it goes both ways too, because there are the SJW types that get up there and they want to talk the issues that matter to them, and they haven't told a single joke in 5 minutes.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then they get pissed. They're like, oh, so everybody's right wing in here.
You guys don't support me. Yeah.
You guys are a bunch of hicks. Why did I come out here to waste my time? And it's like, no, this is stand-up comedy, sweetheart. You have to tell a joke at some point. You have to have a setup and a punch. It keeps happening. It's like you're getting raptured.
Doing that. Yeah, who knew the rapture was real? It's actually happening right now.
By the way, I don't mean to put you on the spot when it happens. It's funny because, again, this doesn't matter at all.
I don't know how to fix it. So
I wonder if it's a sign of something greater at work. I don't know.
Maybe some white supremacists are nearby, and like my radar senses are going off. That's my superpower.
That's factory settings.
Like, oh no, Erin's glowing. Look around, check everyone's tattoos.
You're like an air tag or something. They're getting closer to you. But these people, they come out and they'll want to do the ivermectin hour, and it's like you have 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
You're not going to. First of all, you're not going to get your point across as effectively as you think you are. You need a joke. A joke is going to get that. Whatever point you're trying to make, phrase it in the form of a joke, and people will come along, or people will.
There's a thin line between open mic comedy and slam poetry reading night.
Right.
No,
Absolutely.
I totally see what you're saying. Like, because I've definitely seen more than a handful of sets like that, and yeah, you're right. It's always that reaction, like, "Oh, so you guys are Nazis? So you guys are bigots?" And it's like, no, like this is just not fucking funny, dude. Like this is a comedy open mic. Like comedy is absolutely a platform, to get those messages out and all of that. But you gotta be funny first. You gotta get the funny, build your relationship with your audience, and that's when you can have that conversation in the middle of like a 30-minute set. You can get serious, like you can tailor your jokes to make those points that make people walk away and go, huh. That makes Uncle Cletus go, you know what, maybe all black people aren't all that bad, they will. Something that will change Uncle Cletus's mind. But you got to make him laugh first.
Not to harp on Uncle Cletus or that type of individual, but it is a pattern of behavior that you can't help but start to recognize once you go to enough of these. There's always one or two people that are on a mission. They're dead set on proving somebody wrong, like it's a debate, or they're having a one-sided debate because the audience isn't going to retort. They're either going to laugh or they're not going to laugh, and so they get up there. They have this internal battle with themselves that then becomes externalized when they're not getting the laughs they think that they deserve, and they miss the forest for the trees when they're not telling any fucking jokes. I wish you had done my open mic when I was still doing it in DC, because it was, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I've had enough messages recently of like, are you bringing this back, or do you know if there's anything else like this, to know that there was a real utility in having having a free place to go where you could do your quick set. You could do like 4 minutes of new jokes and then get like 2 or 3 people's opinion on the material and how to punch it up, how to put punchlines places they maybe weren't thinking about or had writer's block with, and just a real quick kind of like workshop in an open mic that I just know, like, I could tune up so many of these guys I see, and I'm not the type of guy who wants to go give unsolicited advice either. So it's like I wish there were more places where they signed up with the expectation of me or Monica Daly, who I'm gonna have on tomorrow, actually, who I'd love to talk about her experience teaching, or you from an improv background, somebody who's been doing improv and speaking for several years now. It's like, just to have one of those people, their undivided attention, they're looking at you, everything you're doing, from mannerisms to pacing to vocal inflection, to have you move the mic stand out of your way, all that shit, and then say, hey, here's a little write-up, here you go, take that, and then we'll see you next time, or good luck at the next thing you're doing. And then
what the heck, that sounds so cool.
That's what I was doing for a year and a half, and then I get the messages after, like, I loved the point that so and so made at this thing, it really helped. And it's like, fuck yeah. There's just not, it's just sad. All that to say, not to toot my own horn, all that's the exposition for it's tough in stand-up to it's tough in stand-up to
it's you playing the drum. You play the drum.
I do
you toot your own horn all the time.
I'm not blowing smoke up my own ass when I'm saying.
There you go.
I wanted to lay the groundwork for. I wonder if you feel this way. You said when you started out, well, first of all, you had Diane kind of bring you into the fold, so that I'm sure that helps. But you go to another room outside of Woodbridge, and do you ever feel totally isolated, or do you ever feel like you're completely on your own? breaking into a new scene or a new area?
Um, Honestly, not really. And I'll occasionally pop into a mic in DC, like it has been a while, but I kind of stay in like the Northern Virginia sphere.
Mm-hmm.
But any new room I go to, like it can be, I feel weirdly confident because like I know I'm surrounded by fellow comedians, and even if they're, I don't know, it's like different for, because we all like, oh, DC comedians, blah, 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 I don't know. Even if they're a slightly different variety of comedian, like
Mm-hmm.
even before I started doing stand up and all that, I would bond with people through humor. So if I can just kind of connect with someone that way, like I feel comfortable. And in a room full of comedians, like it's, when we're not on stage, it's pretty easy. This rule does not, what I say does not apply for when we are on stage, but when we are off of stage, it's very easy to make each other laugh. So I
Okay.
always feel, even if I feel like alone, like I don't know anyone, I know once I get on stage and I do my thing and like I show these other people like, oh yeah, like I can make jokes, I can do this, like they, I don't know, it's less tense, I guess, or it's
Mm-hmm.
like that's what it gives people a reason to talk to you too, because usually they'll say like, "Oh, good set," or like, "Nice job up there," even if they don't mean it. But
They mean it when they listen when they're talking to you. They mean it. Stop. I'm gonna do this. You need to cut it out. They mean it. I think that
um,
so
yeah,
I'll speak for myself then. When I was starting out, I would have the places I'm comfortable in. Electric Palm being one. I got to a point where Dead Horse I could go and I know I'm hanging out even though I'm gonna bomb and it's gonna be embarrassing. It's gonna be a blow to my own ego when I go up and bomb and the whole bar's talking. But I'm gonna have fun while I'm here. But generally when I was breaking into a new thing or if I'd signed up and got on a new list and a new bar, I felt like, okay, if I don't do well here or if I did poorly there, that's how everybody sees me and I'm kind of stuck because I don't know how to navigate or what I don't know what I could have done differently in that moment.
mhm,
I have the benefit of hindsight with a couple things, like maybe I shouldn't have singled out that drunk bitch at the bar. Maybe I shouldn't have, tried to do crowd work with her of all people. But, generally it's like, oh man, I'm just a fish out of water. But if you have a place that's like, not only can you come here and it's a safe space, quote unquote, for development and writing purposes, but also it's like I am gonna get this kind of accelerated um, idea experience, or like I'll get a windfall of ideas in the span of 7 minutes, and it would normally take me 2 weeks to develop just from my copying and doing all this shit. That's what.
yeah, like that's no, that's really cool. And I think a lot of people need that. So if you were to ever do something like that again, I'd love to participate either as a performer or someone who can give feedback, because people need that. Even if you and if you're one of the two people listening to this and you think that you don't need that feedback, you are the person who does the most, okay?
Yeah.
You are that person. um, because it's hard to self critique. It's really hard to
Yes.
self critique. Like
That's
I don't know about you, but I
yes.
record most of my sets, like not to post online, but to watch later and critique myself. And
Mm-hmm.
every time I do that, I die a little bit
Me too.
inside. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, you paused there. You use so many filler words. You're fidgeting with the mic stand. Oh my god, like what are you
Yeah.
doing here? You stupid piece of shit. Go back to office supply sales. That's how it goes. So I would need someone to say that to me gentler in a more
That's what I was
constructive
trying to
way.
get at in a way you just so succinctly uh, phrased just now. That's what I've been trying to say. Is it's what's hard for so many people, and I know I'm not alone in it. Is the critique, is getting the feedback, getting the criticism, where it's all constructive. You don't have to feel like anybody's calling you out or making fun of you, or the people who want to help you feel like they're in an environment where they can, and so they do more readily. You know, the feeling I had starting out is like, here's this fraternity, right? It's all these comedians in the room, half paying attention, half not, and it's a clique. It's all very cliquey. So if you don't do well, the clique goes, oh yikes, next. You know, it's like, good luck, man. So in their heads, they might be going, there's something I could tell him. I know exactly what I could tell him, and if he takes it in a constructive way, he'll change, and he'll be, you know, marks improved the next time, and he doesn't have to feel like a piece of shit after either. You know, it's like each one of us has the tips and tricks that we've learned through trial and error that I feel like it would just be so much nicer if every open mic was like, okay, here's the unsolicited advice hour where we huddle up in the next room and go, okay, so here's what you did that was great, and here's areas you can do more of that that you're not capitalizing on, or here's one thing that's a total no that's I think from what I saw, that's where you lost everybody, and just keep that in mind for next time. And that would just, it's so great to think about.
Plus,
it's a utopia.
I feel like, yes, this fictitious land you're describing sounds incredible. In a perfect world where no one has egos that are easily bruised like a ripe banana.
That's what it is, though. That's what it is, because nobody wants to admit they're wrong, especially when they're, like you said,
people hate admitting they're wrong.
But it is tough to get up and want to say something in front of a crowd of people and attempt to make them laugh at it. It's nerve-wracking, and it's like insult to injury if somebody pulls you aside and goes, hey, that one part sucked ass, and you should work on it. It sucks, but
and that's the difference between just criticizing someone and giving constructive feedback. Like, hey, that sucks, is just criticizing someone. Like, we know, if you're going to point it out, tell them how they can improve, you know, like, hey, this is what didn't work about that. Maybe try this next time, or go for this direction. I would genuinely, I'm going to say this with a grain of salt, because I don't want thousands and thousands of unsolicited advices every time I go out to an open mic. But I do, if someone has like a genuine thought they think would help me, like I would love to hear it. Anytime someone has approached me, anytime another comic has approached me with feedback.
That's a great point. Everything we're talking about to listeners this episode, if you're just an audience member and you've never done stand-up before, we do not want to hear shit from you. We do not.
Don't do it.
When I did the open mic, it was like we would have panelists, right, that the 2 or 3 people designated to give feedback for every comic, right? And I chose people from all levels of experience. Like, even if they had started 3 weeks ago, I would still say, hey, you're showing up, you're in here, clearly this is something that you're engaged in, right? You've been thinking about it a lot, so you can give people criticism that they can value, because you're an audience member, because you're somebody who can give insight into the audience perspective, right? And you can actually vocalize that in front of the room and to the person who just performed to you. But if you're just like a virgin audience member that doesn't have any real vested interest in stand-up, and you're not actually interested in the intricacies of your movement and the way you're speaking, it's like, I don't want someone who's just going to say, yeah, you were really funny, or like, you weren't really funny and I don't know what to tell you. That's the opposite of constructive. That's bewildering. It's like, well, thanks so much for letting me know. That's awesome.
I once had in my improv group, we were having like trouble like just getting consistent rehearsals going. And we finally had a good rehearsal where we had like a good amount of players show up, and like we were using like the first part as like a brainstorming kind of deal. And this guy rolls in like 2 hours late, like we're carrying a Pedialyte, you know.
Okay.
And we're almost done with all the brainstorming. So I'm like, yes, we get to do improv. I'm so excited. Let's go. Let's do this. And then he walks in and plops down. And then within like 4 minutes, he's just like, I think, you know, whatever we do, it's got to be funny. And I'm normally really good. I'm really good at like being diplomatic in those situations and holding it in. I slammed my notebook on the table. I was so pissed. Like I was just, you know, just God, I was livid. And I told him why. I'm like, look, dude, like you rolled in here 2 minutes late, like 2 hours late. I highly suspect you're hungover. You have not been a part of this conversation, and you just come in here and like give us the most mediocre, most bare minimum effort feedback.
Yeah.
Be funny. Improv group, like that should be a given. Like whatever we do, like we do have an element of humor even when we do dramatic improv, you know. But
that's the thing, is for the audience member feedback or criticism, it's always that, because those are the drunk people, or those are the people who are unfiltered, who have no self-awareness. Like, go up, I got to meet this guy and tell him exactly.
This guy's gonna want to know what I've got to say.
What I'm thinking right now, even though it's ill-conceived. And they get up there and they're like, man, you crushed. I mean, we were laughing. Could you tell we were laughing a minute ago?
You're gonna be the next best thing, man. Like you keep doing it. I believe in you. I'm like, thanks, drunk guy number 5.
And it is tough. It is tough when somebody's starting out and they have that same energy of it's even worse because they're like, I'm the shit. That's why I'm doing this to begin with, because, you know, well, my friends tell me I'm funny at work, so I'm doing this now, and I'm going to be the next best thing, like you're saying, and then they don't. They think that they're hot shit and they don't have to put in any of the work. They think
wait, you have to work for this?
There's some type of shortcut where, you know, I am just funny and that's it. Which there's people that are naturally gifted, who have the gift of communication and timing everything, and whether they know it or not, they've been practicing their whole lives in conversation and at parties or family gatherings, but 9 times out of 10, that's not you, honey. You're just an asshole. You're just a prick.
You're just a dick, sweetie. I'm sorry. You're just an asshole.
You're just self-absorbed, honey. That's hilarious. A Pedialyte. Like, I know it's not post-workout, bitch. You need to get your shit together on a weeknight.
I was, man, yeah. And that was one of my, like, kind of one of the situations that pushed me further into stand-up. Because I'm like, I just, like, I love my team. I love doing improv. I'll always love improv. But I wanna do more creative stuff that isn't literally dependent on other people showing up.
I know exactly what you mean.
I've gone to mics where it's literally just me and the host. Just me and the host, and we both did 20 minutes, and we had a great fucking time. I ate a piece of pizza on stage, but I was performing. I was doing it.
You came ready. You knew what was expected of you, and you delivered, knowing full well it's gonna go anyway. But I'm gonna do everything in my power to prepare for this. I've been preparing for this, so I know what I'm capable of. I don't have to lie to anybody. You know, we're faking it until we make it to a certain extent, but still, you're always preparing in the meantime. I totally get that, and that's what's so great about stand-up and about things that you can do by yourself, is that you live and die by your own abilities and by your own commitment to yourself or to what you're trying to achieve. I was in a band recently that I'm no longer in full time just because of those same sentiments as you in the improv group of like, okay, well, we all have our own individual commitments, and I can see that it's putting a strain on the group, and we're all only coming together as individuals, and the cohesion is starting to break, or there's starting to be tears in the product, where we'll get to the point where we'll have the booker of the show come over and be like, "Are y'all good? Because that wasn't okay," or like, "Y'all seem a little off tonight." And say, I don't
Yeah,
want.
that's
Why
good.
would I continue to commit to this and put time and effort into something that I know is dependent on all the other people who have divided interest, and who aren't as invested in this, and who would be content to disappoint more and more audiences. It's like, I'm not going to subject myself to that. And that sounds
Yep.
selfish when you have to step away, but at a certain
Yeah.
point, it's that insanity thing of, I've given this enough chances, and it's time for me to develop myself. And hopefully,
Yes.
while I'm developing myself, I'll start to meet the other people in this community that are just as invested, and we'll be more in lockstep instead of fighting to salvage something that's subpar.
Yeah. Dude, but you pretty much just read my mind with all of that. Like that's pretty much like what I've been going through. And
And it's
it's
nothing
like,
against the other players. Like, I'm sure it goes for
no,
improv too.
not at all.
They're all
Yeah.
usually great people, and they have great intentions. But once you just objectively say, we're not bringing it as a group, and
Mm-hmm.
we've not brought it for the past 3, 4, 5, 6 performances, and we're not, at this point in time, we're not capable of growth. We've hit a plateau, right? We bottomed out, and
Yeah.
we gotta. I gotta dip, and y'all either get it together or you don't. But I'm not gonna continue to get dragged down with the ship.
Yeah, and it's just like any relationship, right? Like if you don't have the same priorities, if you don't have the same goals, like it's going to be a tough ride.
It is. It is. And performing in general is tough right now, just because of how expensive everything is.
Oh
Gas is
my God, yeah.
expensive. Food's expensive. Time is
Yeah.
money. It's hard
Yes.
to be at a show and be like, well, I could be getting overtime right now, or I should be, or
Yeah.
this, I should get a second job, whatever it is. But I'm doing this
Yeah.
here now because I want to, and because I'm getting better at it, and I like that
Yes.
feeling of improvement. But it's tough to reconcile all that's happening outside of it, and around us. And once you start to see people who are getting bogged down by life, and bogged down by all of the hectic inconsistencies of whatever they're doing as their creative outlet, it's like you can just start to see the life get drained from their eyes, or the spirit, the creative spirit that you bonded with this person over. You can start to see them, becoming resentful of it, or putting less out, or putting less of themselves into it, because it's just like, this is too much. I'm stressed out. I'm not even
Yeah.
enjoying this anymore. I'm just here because I signed up. And it's like, well, don't sign up. You need to regroup. You need to get your shit in order. Fix your shit, and then come back when you're ready. Stop trying to
Get your shit together.
stop trying to force something that's not happening right now. It's okay to take a break.
Sometimes you got to take the time to sharpen your axe.
Absolutely. Hone your blade, sharpen your axe. There you go. You're the axe murderer. I'm the trumpet player. Those are our pantomimes. I wanted to ask you about kind of what you write about and what you talk about on stage, because you come from a similar place that I do. I talk about real life experiences and observations, So I talk a lot about being gay on stage, and it gets, I'm sure, tiresome for a lot of people just because it's the same shit
What? You're
over and over
gay?
again.
What?
I know.
You look like all my ex-boyfriends.
Gay? I'm so sorry about that.
That's what all my material is about, all my gay ex-boyfriends.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm over it. It's fine. But if Ben cheats on me with a man, I'm gonna officially have a complex. Like it's 4 times is not like I just can't date men anymore. Like I don't know.
You gotta have
So
some
a lot
trust
of
issues, though.
I have major trust issues. Like if
Yeah.
Ben like came through the door right now and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go hang out with my friend Jessica right now at 9:42 at night," I'd be like, "Oh, tell her I said hi. I don't know who that is, but like, go have fun." And if he like came in here and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go meet up with my friend Jerry right now," I'd be like, "Who the fuck is Jerry? You trifling oh no, the whites are coming out here."
There we go. It's that white devil coming out. You're really
No,
pissed
I've
now.
never.
Holy
I
shit.
would be so pissed. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
happened to me 3 times. So I have a little bit of a complex forming.
I'm
I'm
so
very
sorry. On
sensitive
behalf
about it.
of my community, I want to apologize. I want to issue a formal
Well, it's-
apology. That's not okay. It's not right. One of the things I talk about, or I don't joke about it as much now, just because I haven't written anything funny about it. But it's like my mom and dad were married, and my dad's a gay guy. So, I mean, it happens all the time.
yeah.
And
I joke that I'm the, I'm not the girl you date before you find your wife. I'm the girl you date before you just realize you're full on gay, and then you just go that way.
and what you should know, and I'm sure you do. I'm sure you've probably been to therapy, and I mean, you would have to after 3-4 times of that, because it's like, am I the problem? Am I?
Yeah, because I'm the only
Yeah.
common denominator here, so
Mm-hmm.
it must be something I'm doing.
But I'm sure what you've learned through trial and error, through experiences, is that it's not you. It's, I mean, there's, sadly, even though we are in such progressive times, there's still a lot of people who cannot grapple with the fact that they're a faggot, homo, cocksucker, and my boyfriend's laughing because he feels that still, and he's openly gay. But they can't grapple with that because it's like, I can't be. You're not allowed to be.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can take it in my ass, and they get married after. I can do that.
You mean those feelings I have about sexy crucified Jesus at church are valid?
That's its own pipeline. The
Yeah.
religious gay pipeline is its own
Oh
separate
yeah.
fiasco. Trust. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not. Let's let that be.
Anyways, so I'm really into storytelling, telling stories about, life experiences. Like that's where all my comedy is from.
Yeah.
Like my truth is stranger than my fiction. Like some of my stories, like I'll have people come up to me after and be like, "Oh, where'd you come up with that?" And I'm like, "That was my Tuesday morning.
If only you knew.
I was just
Where did I come up?
telling you exactly what happened to me yesterday on Tuesday."
The material finds us, and that's,
Yeah.
like you were saying too, of just like wanting to be an authentic person on stage, wanting to come from the heart, because that's what hits the hardest for a lot of people, is when they know, because once you say something absurd is real, that's when people gasp, because then they're invested. They're like, how did this person get out of that situation? I want to hear how the true story ends, so that's the best way into storytelling. I have admiration for the people who can make up an entire thing from whole cloth, or they have this contrived joke that never even happened, and everyone's along for the ride. They must be like a sociopath, the way they're able to lie through everything, or
Those people scare me.
But that's its own thing. I just like you though, I think it's just so much easier just to be honest, and just to be,
Yeah.
just pull from what's happening. There's crazy shit happening to each and every one of us, even if it's not happening directly to you, it's happening to the guy next to you, and you have a right to talk about it. So do it.
Yes, you do.
And take it back. So what I wanted to ask you about was situations like those hurt. They're very painful. I'm sure you've had many a sleepless night over the people that you thought you could trust, who
my homosexual ex-boyfriends,
homosexual ex-boyfriends, health scares, family events, everything. And how do you determine something's okay for you to talk about on stage?
It depends on how do I phrase this? If I've healed from it, it's okay to talk about in my book. Like, my relationships with my exes, like, yeah, of course that sucked. And having that happen like back to back to back, I'm like, oh my God, like what the fuck is wrong with me? Yeah. But between when that period of my life ended till now, like it's been a good few years. Like it's been quite a while. And like I've done a lot of healing, a lot of growing, a lot of changing as a person. And if like, let's say that all happened like last year, I'd be like, oh no, I am not ready to talk about this. But because it's been enough time and I've processed, like I feel confident talking about it. Like sometimes I think about, like there's jokes I do where they're just vague enough, and sometimes I'll combine elements of like other relationship into this kind of fictitious like bit that I do, but they're all real elements just from different people. And sometimes I wonder, like, what if this ex walked in right now and heard me saying that bit? Like they would know I'm talking about them. And before I was like, no, I'd be uncomfortable. I don't want to do that. But now it's like, fuck it, bring it on. What you gonna do, motherfucker? You know, it's water under the bridge. It's, it happened, and now we get to the point where we get to what they say, comedy is trauma plus time, right? That's what they say?
The equation. That's the working.
Yeah.
Arithmetic.
But if like the situation's still a little like up in the air, I guess, like I let it marinate. Like I want to give respect to that situation. Like I'm comfortable talking about this, but like I'm not talking to my mom right now. We are in a no contact situation. Like her phone number is blocked, like the whole 9 yards. And
it's not easy.
It's not, but you know what? Like I had to do some soul searching, and I had to do some healing, and like figure out how, accepting that my mom is always going to be my mom. So if I'm going to allow her in my life, like I gotta do some internal searching and figuring things out here.
And just, not to cut you off, but just in case, Mom, if you see this for some reason, or if you're still going through this and this gets out there, listen to that last part that Erin just said. You are always going to be her mom, and things like this happen, and they happen because of circumstances that I'm sure one or both parties is very much responsible for. But you will do your best to iron it out, and you'll always come back whether you want to or not. You'll always find a way through it. I'm trying to say something that I can't express this because we've all had that, where there's a family member or somebody that you just have to, you do your own thing. You're in the corner for now, or I'm walking away. I need to remove myself from this. Or so know that your daughter, removed herself, because at the end of the day, that's what's best. At the end of the day, that's how the situation will heal itself and repair itself and be conducive for reintegration. This is all necessary. This is nothing against you as an individual, and you cannot take that personally. Just a little bit, but not enough. not enough to sever completely, I hope, and
Yeah,
that's
it's
never the goal.
it was hard, but it was definitely the right move, and I felt super validated in that after I talked to a few of my family members who know my mom very well, and kind of like how tumultuous my relationship with her has been. And I was expecting to get chewed out. I was expecting to be like, Erin, you're almost 30, like you're still doing this with your mom, blah 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 blah. But no, everyone I talked to was like, we understand, and I think you did the right thing. I think we need to put your mom in a timeout for a few months and see if she gets it together.
Yeah, you're a grown woman. I mean, nobody should be talking to you, and nobody should even really be making you feel this way. Nobody should be making you feel like you have to make ultimatums, or like you have to.
It sucks. I was like, I don't know what to do in this situation.
Well, you're doing exactly what you can do, short of giving that back, short of all out mayhem, brawling in the street. You're doing what you can.
No one's got time for that. Like, that's too stressful.
So that's not something you would want to talk about or make a joke about.
Exactly.
Because
I want to respect the situation, know. Like I joke about personal relationship stuff between my fiance and I all the time, but that's stuff that we've discussed beforehand. That's clear and on the table to joke about. Like, I would never joke about something like super personal about him or us without consulting him first.
It's good to have a resolution before you start airing your business out. You see a lot of people who are kind of a mess, where they think they know it could be funny potentially, but you're like, that's still very raw, and I can tell that this person is not. They have not had. They haven't had closure. They haven't had the mental resolution that they need.
You can tell for sure.
Or like maybe it's a bad relationship with drug abuse, or a bad relationship period with somebody, but it's like, you should not don't talk about this right now. You need to go to rehab. You need to you need to face this for real, and you're not facing it on stage the way you think you are. You're not. It's not therapy the way you think it is. It's not healing the way that so many other more appropriate avenues could and will be. But it is cool, and I want to hear your experience with it before we wrap up. But it is cool when you do get over something, it's in the past, water under the bridge, like you said, and then you get to work on the material. You get to work on, oh shit, this is a gold mine. This is actually like, you're telling me I can get paid to tell people about this? And
I can make money off of my trauma? What? See, that's my goal. That's my goal in life, because when my mom and I went no contact, it was actually after, because I was in the hospital a couple months ago. It was actually immediately right after, like the day I got out of the hospital. And it was all related to that, because in her mind, like, Mom, if you find this, like, you still need to go to therapy. But in her mind, anytime I get sick, because I get sick a lot because I have type 1 diabetes, it's always my fault. Like, it's my fault because I'm not taking care of myself. I'm doing something wrong. There's something I could be doing better that I'm not. And she just refuses to accept that having an autoimmune disease that needs 24/7 management is hard. So we, of course, like, I get to her house and like my heart still isn't functioning at full capacity. It's beating at like 60 beats per minute, like when they release me. And so I tell my mom, like, hey, I know you want to talk about this, but like, I really need like a calm, stress-free environment right now. And she just wouldn't stop. Like, it was relentless. And so luckily my fiance was there. Like, I'm like, hey, we gotta go back to our house. Like, I can't stay here. And so then I was not only healing from like almost losing my life, like in that hospital experience, but potentially never talking to my mom ever again, like losing my mom. And it was heavy, but the whole time I was thinking, holy shit, I'm going to have material for days. I'm going to have material
That's
for
a tough
years.
pipeline.
I can make a whole special.
Listen, that's so true. That
Like,
that's as true as it gets. It's like, because like I got a DUI a couple of years ago, and I'm finally like over with it. I'm done with it as of this month, right?
it's
I'm
tough.
done.
I went through the same thing a couple years ago. I understand.
But it's like the whole time blowing into the breathalyzer or whatever you have to do. It's like, oh shit, this has potential. This has legs. How can I get it there? I'm not ready right now. Like, this is still fucking embarrassing.
I was
right
gonna
now.
say,
I'm still ashamed of myself right now.
For me too. Like, even though like I've been done with my DUI stuff for years now, like I rarely ever talk about alcohol and stuff on stage because like I just can't.
Yeah.
I'm not ready yet.
Yeah, but
I feel like when I do, I got to do it justice.
But you're thinking about it is the point.
Yeah.
You're mulling it over constantly of like, I can relate that to this, but I'm still not in the right headspace. And the stuff with family is even tougher. That's because it's too personal, and it sounds like your mom is kind of a helicopter personality, or just overly in your business, and that's not cool. Once again, you're a grown ass woman. You're no longer somebody else's responsibility.
At some point, you become the parent in the parent-child relationship, and it's always weird, but it happens eventually.
It sounds like you're butting heads because she's not letting that transition happen. She's not allowing you to have full agency,
we could make a whole other podcast just about my mother. Okay, like we can not just one episode, like a whole entire podcast with multiple seasons about my mother and my relationship to her and all the complicated things that make her.
My problem
but I'm not ready yet.
My problem is I'm still tethered to my parents. I mean, financially, even I have at least one loan that I'm co-signed with my dad on, and so it's like those little things like that. I was on my dad's insurance policy until this year when I turned 26 and I get kicked off of it. But little things like that where it's like, okay, well, they have just enough of a vested interest in my success that they need updates, or they need to know what's happening constantly. But thankfully I'm not saying that my dad's a bad person or abuses that, right? But it's something that I think about, that's on my mind, and I'm sure he thinks about, and we take the steps not to piss each other off, but trying to be proactive and trying to openly communicate or do what we're both comfortable with, and acknowledge when the other person is uncomfortable, and adjust accordingly. Those are all, it's all nuanced. There's all these active elements at play. It's not just cut and dry. I'm the boss, what I say goes. That can't work with anybody anywhere. Nobody's a complete pushover with it, whether they admit or not. So
everyone wants to do things their way. That's just human nature, Everyone thinks they're right. Everyone thinks their right way is the best way. Like, hell, look at our political system. Examples everywhere. Depressing, real examples.
But you turn those into some gold, Erin. It's always a joy to see you IRL. I walk into the room and I'm like, okay, I'm safe here. I know I got my people I can point at and go, oh, this is going to be a fun night. We can
when I saw you at Hog Shack the other night, I'm like, yes, Christian. I feel like I hadn't seen you in ages. I'm like, yes, it's gonna be a good show. Like, and that goes to, that kind of brings it back around to like energy in the audience. Like, I joked earlier that oh, you should see me when you're not in the room. I feel like I do better when all my friends are in the room. And that night, all like pretty like the majority of all my favorite comics were in the room that night, and I was feeding off of that energy, knowing I was having such a good time, like talking to you guys beforehand. I know I was going to hang out after, and it was just going to be a good time, and I feel like I had a better performance because I was so relaxed, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you had, like you said, Heather won that night. She was there. She did awesome.
Yeah.
BG, Isaac, Hannah Williams, Keith, who I'm trying to get on next week. It's so fun to. That's why I like doing this too, the podcast. It's not because of the massive listenership. It's because of the it's getting to see, having a time capsule of these relationships, because you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, as sad as it is to think, you never know when somebody's gonna leave us. There's crazy shit happening. Dwayne and Imka, they were in a car accident
Oh
recently.
yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
Horrifying. You never know when somebody's just gonna up and move. Like I had Marco Trinidad on recently, and he's in California now. He's not even on the same coast as us. So it's nice to have a conversation with a good friend that you meet out doing this crazy, stupid art form, and getting to have that immortalized, online, and share it around and look back at it. It's always, like you said about recording yourself doing stand up. That I hate looking back at this and listening to myself, because I'm like, I said too much. I sound like shit. Why wasn't I speaking louder into the mic? All that stuff. But I love getting to see the other people I'm doing it with, and I love getting to see my friends and getting to see like all these awesome people succeeding and climbing and getting better and better. So
it's all about community.
All that community. I'm so glad you're in this community here. I'm so glad we met when we did. I think you were at the very first open mic I did in February of 2023. I think you may have been there, and
I think that's like a few months after I started.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we started stand up at roughly the same time then,
and I didn't realize that. I thought you'd been doing this for like years ahead of time.
No, man. I started this. I started doing this with Lorenzo, and I saw the live events I saw, and then decided, it would be a great way to meet people to come do podcasts like these, because I would meet the people on the ground. Yeah. And then I just fell in love with, I got the infection, the stand-up comedy virus, and it's incurable. Herpes. I did get that.
We all have the same strain.
It's incurable. You're stuck with it forever. I feel like once you get bitten, there's no going back. You're just like, this is me.
Oh yeah. Even on my slow weeks, like it's never I'm walking away from comedy. It's like, hey, I'm just taking a few weeks off. Like I'll see you guys soon.
I need to recharge.
Mm-hmm.
I would love. I want to end it here, just so that we can, we're recording pretty late tonight, and I'm sorry about that. I had to work late, and that's part of balancing everything. Wanting to do everything on top of having a full-time job is meaning, okay, I have to work and then go to the open mic and then, stay till the very end.
Yeah, it's in the people who like have a day job and hit like 4 mics at night. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Oh my God.
I did that in DC for a stretch of a few months, and it killed me. It absolutely did a number on me.
Not for me.
It's good in stretches. Do that in stretches and small doses, because
it's a sprint, not a marathon.
Exactly. It's a networking sprint, and you'll meet a lot of cool people that'll put you on some cool shows, and that you can put on cool things too. But it's tough. There's no way I'm doing that anytime soon. But I want to end this now, knowing that you'll come back. Will you come back and do a podcast on your mom with me, and we can just dedicate 2 hours?
Dude, yeah. Yes, mommy issues.
Kidding, of course.
What's Mother's Day? I'm not kidding. Let's do it.
Do a Mother's Day. I have stories too. Trust you me. I've had times where I was gonna run away from home and I got out the door, and growing up, I've had those arguments. A big thing I'm working on now is how coming out, my mom didn't approve of that. Basically, because my dad was gay, so she was like, did he make you gay, or is he responsible for all that shit? So I have all that baggage. I would love to unpack it.
We should Your mom sounds similar to my mom. We absolutely need like a side podcast episode of our mommy issues.
And she's a great lady, my mom. She's definitely tried to drive me insane at points, and I deliberately try to drive her insane at other times too. So
sometimes you gotta fight crazy with crazy,
It's back and forth. It is. And is your mom an immigrant? Is she
yeah.
Okay, so that's probably tougher then too.
Yeah, there's like a lot. There's a lot of layers going on here, okay?
Yeah, so we'll get into it. And we could also just talk regular shit. Normally we watch clips on here because I'm not interesting enough to talk to at length. but
so that's why they do that. Oh, okay.
That's what it's all about, baby. Reacting, clipping.
We're just making like a 2-hour long reaction video. I see.
We could do that next time. There was a lot that happened this week in the news. Marjorie Taylor Greene is resigning. What else? Trump and Mom Donnie had a play date. That seemed cute.
And now they're mini me's. He started dressing like it.
So there's all types of stuff. I would love to have you back and just talk about literally anything because you're the best.
I'll do a reaction video with you.
So before we end, I wanted to ask: is there anything you want to promote? Any shows coming up? Anything that I can pull up or put into the description here?
I don't really have I don't know if that's happening yet. I don't really have any shows in the immediate future to promote, but if you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is hehecoyote, and I post show announcements and sometimes clips and sometimes little sketches. But if you want to come out to a show, this is a great way to know what's going on.
There you go, hehecoyote on Instagram. I'm gonna, again, everything's in the description for you. And if anything comes to mind that you want me to put up there, please let me know. I will do it in a heartbeat.
Dash feet finder.
Feet finder. Maybe I'll abstain from the feet finder.
Hey man, it's hard to sell paper in a post-COVID society. I mean,
that's it. So I would love to talk to you about that though, on the real. I would love to get into that ecosystem because I'm completely out of the loop. And it is fascinating to me, but it's something I have no. I'll just be bewildered the whole time.
The current state of office supply sales.
There we go. Oh yeah. So when Lorenzo's here, he normally gives people advice on some of the things we talked about during the podcast, or anything that comes to mind that we talked about or didn't talk about. Would you be okay in helping impart some words of wisdom onto the audience here?
Oh, gotcha. For the audience,
I'll give you a second to think. Well, I'll just say off the top, if you're interested in doing stand-up comedy, make sure that you're not an asshole first with God complex. That's very helpful, because chances are, if you are that, you're probably not going to tell any jokes. You're probably actually just going to say a bunch of unhinged shit and then get banned from your favorite bar or from your favorite burger joint. So just check those boxes. Make sure you're going in it with the right intentions, and that you're actually doing the real work.
New comics, come from a place of humility, come from a humble place. because people will also be like what's the phrase I'm looking for here? That's not early bird, squeaky wheel. No, that's not right. But people want to help people they like, you know? So when you go into that new environment, like be likable, be polite, be friendly, take feedback with grace, and you will go much further than you would if you just like are lone wolf, stick to yourself. I don't need anyone's feedback or help or anything like that.
It's tempting to do that. It's so easy to get to isolate yourself. But go into it with an open mind. Go out of your way to meet people, shake hands, and exchange Instagram handles, whatever it takes to talk to the people who've been doing it longer, and you'll grow exponentially. You'll get better and better at it. Do you have any advice for people who
don't talk to their moms?
Don't talk to their moms. You're in the thick of it. What should they do?
Don't be afraid to cut off your toxic parent, okay? It's okay. It doesn't even have to be forever. It does not have to be a forever thing, but like 3 months, 6 months, give them a little time to let you know you're serious. Make sure you're spending extravagantly on social media so they know whatever money you have to put towards their retirement home is being spent. And they'll get the message,
Okay, take it easy with the checking account, Erin, please. We cannot afford a vacation right now. We can talk now. I'll come to the table. Let's negotiate.
We're going to the Maldives.
That's awesome. Any advice for
go to therapy
who are bigoted? Anything for them? Anybody wants to hear something?
Oh shit!
From a powerful lady.
Oh man. Shit. Go if you're someone who finds yourself, whenever you see like minorities or women or people who do not look like you, and you get that tingle down your spine, like it makes you mad, go eat some food not made by your own ethnicity. Like go get some soul food, go get some some Mexican food, some tacos, like go get some pho, go get some soup, because I feel like eating other
read it correctly as well.
Let it go. It's pho, we let go. But yeah, go immerse yourself in food, okay? Because I feel like that's the glue that holds us all together, and like cultural divides can be brought together if we combine our foods. I don't know, food is important. I feel like there's a taco place near me that's so good, I think it can fix racism. Excellent. I truly do.
Excellent. Hopefully it doesn't get raided anytime soon.
I think about that all the time. We live in Manassas, and like I would straight up throw myself in front of an ICE SUV if they hit that spot.
You're in Manassas. I went to that big cafeteria place. What's it called? Where the food trucks in the big parking lot next to. Downtown. I went there one day, and I just was, because I come from work, I have a badge, and I have like a polo shirt on and sunglasses, and everybody was scared to death of me. Like I could see people, like I could, you walk into a room, you could feel people staring at you. I was especially since I didn't speak Spanish. They this is an arc. This is somebody who's gonna ruin it.
And then so you have, if you were in a suit or something, or like formal wear, you have massive federal agent vibes. It's like, guys, I'm like,
just a big bag.
That's a fucking pop right there.
I'm just sitting here for the food, y'all. It's okay. I tipped more. I tipped extra because I was like, I put everybody on edge. I won't come back here for another 3 years. I'll wait.
Yeah, just wait a little bit. Yeah. No, I will make sacrifices for the sake of that food. And the people, they're so nice. They're like the sweetest people too. Like every time the manager comes by and he goes, "Have you been taken care of?" "Yes." "No." "Okay, what can I get you?" But it's a very nice place.
Is it the one? Is it the one with the little like red roof that looks like a Pizza Hut almost? Which one?
Maybe La China Poblano.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best. Taco Tuesday, $2 Taco Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
That one's great. They aren't afraid of me there, so I still go and I get the burrito with
the consomme, yeah.
That's excellent. Get some tacos, everybody. Thank you, Erin, for coming.
Yes.
I really
eat tacos, fight racism.
Fight racism. Hee Coyote on Instagram. Follow Erin Coyne. She's going places. She's the shit. Come see us at our open mic in Woodbridge.
Those places might be jail.
Those places might be jail. Never know. Based on how her mom keeps acting up, something could pop off. Please like, subscribe, comment. We're on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. That's where you can find the LNC podcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you again, Erin, for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Lorenzo will be back soon, everybody. I know you miss him dearly, so do I. He'll be back, so stay tuned. Hit the notification bell so you can be updated when Lorenzo makes his triumph.